So Verdun for consoles has been out for around 3 or 4 years now, and in that time period, a lot's changed on the game graphically and sort of gameplay wise. But I made a review last year saying that you shouldn't buy the game just because it wasn't worth the price for what it was. However, a lot's changed, and so I'm bringing you this updated 2020 version review of the game. Hopefully you enjoy. So one of the major issues I brought up last time about the game, which would put a lot of people off, was the fact that there's not many people that play this game anymore. The player numbers for multiplayer aren't too high. There's enough that you'd get a game each night, but some people still would struggle, I suppose, depending on where you're from. If you're from sort of the Asian regions or the Australian region, you might struggle to find a game. But again, that's just down to switching your server sometimes. So it's not the end of the world. But again, it might be like enough to put people off. However, what they've done since the last time I made a review is they've brought out another game mode, which is a custom game mode, so you can play offline with bots. And for me, I actually find the game more immersive playing with bots because it allows you to turn your HUD off and sort of fiddle about with the settings to sort of adapt to your own gameplay. And it's much more immersive, and it's just a good way to improve gameplay, I suppose, because before, if you couldn't find a game online, you'd have to play a game mode called Squad Defense, which is quite a tedious game mode. You just have waves of enemies running at you, and usually you wouldn't have any teammates. It'd just be you by yourself, if you were offline, that is. So now, if you want to play an offline game mode, you've got custom games, and in custom games you can play front lines. So it's just like online but offline, and again you can make it more immersive. Now I do say the player numbers are down still, but they have improved again since last year. They've gone up, and I think this is because of sort of various updates we've had on the game. And it sort of brings me on to my next point, which is the graphical point. Now, the last time I did a review for this game, the graphics were quite poor. There was numerous glitches, which sort of and bugs, which stopped people from even like accessing the game itself. But now the graphics have improved massively, which again sort of involves it sort of brings about the immersion in this game. And I think for me and a lot of other people, the reason we play this game is for the immersion. It's the sense, it's that feel that you're in World War One. That's what you want from this game. It's it's a realistic shooter, and with the graphics and that they've brought into this game, you get that sense of immersion. But not only that, they've also got this sort of sound patch or update that they've brought in the game. So now, when bullets are, or when people are firing their weapons near you, you've got this sort of the sound of the bullets pinging past you and stuff. So it's a lot more realistic and a lot more enjoyable. And with this update, also the glitches have been fixed. Like I mentioned before, there used to be game-breaking bugs. I used to have one called the time connection out error or some shit like that, and it basically didn't allow me to play the game whatsoever. I mean, as soon as I clicked on the game, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't let me access any of the menus or anything. So it proves how bad this game was at one point. But most of them glitches have been fixed now. The gameplay is pretty smooth. Most maps you won't sort of lag around maps or anything like that. It seems to, as I say, it's pretty much quite smooth gameplay. But there is still glitches in the game. The update has fixed a lot, but it also sort of broke certain elements. So there's a bit of a gore issue on the game. So this game was renowned for being quite gory in terms of when you shot people, their heads or fucking legs would come off or something like that. But this sort of patch they brought out has sort of nerfed it a bit, so it's a bit more dulled down. It's not the end of the world. It's not a game-breaking glitch by any means, but it's just some people find it quite frustrating. And the other sort of major glitch to look out for is the sort of machine gun glitch. So if you're using the Lewis gun, for example, as the Tommies, if you place it down, sometimes it's sort of when you place it down, it sort of goes into the sandbags or goes into the ground a bit, and so it makes your aim a bit shit because you can't see much. But other than that, they're the only two major glitches I can think of. And again, they're not game breaking. They're not affecting gameplay too much. The only thing that's doing is sort of affecting the immersion, I suppose, a bit. But compared to last time, this game is definitely it's probably worth a buy now. I'd say there's nothing. The prices are pretty cheap for this game. Again, the gameplay is immersive. It's fun. It's difficult, albeit that you have to get used to dying a lot. But if you can put up with that, then I think you'll enjoy the game. If you enjoy shooters and sort of if you're an FPS player, you might enjoy this game. And you're looking for more of a realistic war style game, you should definitely look into it. It's not a bad game at all. And I think what the sort of the special thing about this game is how unique it is, and there's no other war shooter on the market for console like this. People might, say Modern Warfare is realistic and all this shit, but I won't take any of it. I mean, this is as good as it gets for sort of realism on console, and this is probably the most hardcore shooter you can buy, or sort of war game you can buy for console at the minute. So if you're sick of the arcadiness of Battlefield and Call of Duty, maybe try out Verdun. It might be for you. Cheers for watching.